Hello and welcome to English 911. I am here to answer all of your questions, and just so you know the magic words, you would say, Dear Skyla. Let's just write my name so you know how to spell it when you write those questions in. Okay, so now our first question of today is from Yana. Okay, so Yana's question is very interesting because, well, I'd never actually thought of it before. But Yana writes in, she says, what is the difference between to say, to speak, to talk, and to tell? You know, I hadn't realized we had so many different words for communication in English. So here is my best way of answering this. First of all, we have to say. To say, you always have what is being said, right? To say something. For example, I said that I really, really wanted to sleep, right? Or I told my mother. So here you have to say something, and to tell goes to somebody. I told to somebody. I told them. So you have I tell somebody. Let's just go. Somebody. Okay, so you tell somebody and you say something to somebody. That's how we can tell the difference between to tell and to say. Now to talk. Talk is basically what I'm doing right now, right? I'm moving my mouth, I'm moving my tongue, sounds are coming out, I am talking. This is just main basic speech. To talk. It's what babies do, it's what adults do. Let's write speech. Now, to speak, you speak with somebody, or you can speak a language, right? So, to speak, for example, I can say, I speak English. You speak something. So, if you said I say, you'd never say I say English, right? You would say, I can say English words. You have to have that something. Whereas you speak a language, you speak this idea. Right? And to talk is speech, and you tell somebody. You always have to tell to somebody, because you can't just say, I tell that I am happy. You have to say, I tell, or I told my mother that I am happy. You have to have, it's a transitive thing. You have to have it go to somebody. You can't just tell air, or, I don't know, the inside of your mind. You have to tell somebody. And so now on to our second question. Just one second, we'll clean off the board. Okay, our question number 2. Okay, question number 2 is from Larissa. And Larissa's question makes me remember my childhood. She asks, what is the difference between oversee and overlook? Okay, here we will write up oversee and overlook. Okay, so here you have the easy way of saying it. To oversee something is to stand and make sure that it gets done. For example, say you need to clean your room and you're not doing it. You're just sort of sitting on the bed. You're just looking at the ceiling thinking, oh, when my room is done, I'll go do this. But you're not doing it. And your mom comes in and says, oh, do I have to oversee you? It means, do I have to stand here and make sure that you actually clean your room? This is oversee, to look over something, to see something be done. However, to overlook means to not do it. For example, you say you have your homework is there, and you say, oh, I'm going to overlook my homework. It means I'm going to skip my homework. I'm not doing it. Now, when I said that this reminds me of childhood, this is because we had a game called Overseer. This is a person who stands and oversees. This is when we were in the garden. One of us would get to be the overseer, the taskmaster, and make sure the others did our job, right? Which was my favorite job to do, to be the overseer and tell my brothers to work harder. But I also had to take the job of being the person working harder. But when our mother found out about this game we had going, especially because our little brother always was working, she said, you know what, kids, you're gonna have to overlook this game. You're skipping this game. This game is not happening anymore. So here is our difference between the words oversee and overlook. Oversee means to look over something and make sure that it gets done, and overlook means to skip it, to just not do it. Okay, so now on to our third question of today, which is from Yura. Yura asks, why is it the United States? Why is it not just United States? So here, this is a really interesting question. There are a couple of countries. Okay, first of all, the is an article, right? We have articles like the, and un, right? Why do some countries take an article? Now, the way this works is you never are supposed to put an article in front of a country unless they are a multiple areas. For example, the United Kingdom, right? Because it is the United Kingdom, okay, we're just gonna write K, of Scotland and Wales and England, right? It's multiple areas. The same with the United States. The United States. Okay, the United States is because it's a collection of states, okay? Then you also have other areas like the Irish Republic or the Philippines, the British Isles. One that people all over the world seem to make a mistake with is Ukraine. They always want to say the Ukraine. Okay, because before it became a separate country, it was the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic, right? So it was part of the Soviet Union, part of a big thing. So it did have a the, but now that it is only a country, it is just Ukraine. For some reason, this is one country that everyone seems to mess up. Even back home in Canada, we always had a problem with this. But remember, it's just a country without an article. The ones we put articles are the United States, the United Kingdom, the British Isles. Ones that are plural or parts of, they are a whole of many different parts, like the United States. Okay, so I want you to all remember this next week, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you again. It's been great as usual to talk with you, to just have this time to study English together. I wish you your best as you're studying this next week, this next time, and see you next time. Goodbye.